Iterate, we teach to be applied. Knowledge is meant to be applied. So who are evil scholars? Here is a rule Ash-Shatibi rahimahullah said. Inna ulama'a as-su'i, inna ulama'a as-su'i humu alladhina la ya'maluna bima ya'lamun. Inna ulama'a as-su'i humu alladhina la ya'maluna bima ya'lamun. Evil scholars are those who are dangerous to mankind. They're a disease to mankind. They are those who don't act on their knowledge. Ibn al-Qayyim said in his book Al-Fawaid, evil scholars are like, he gave a parable. They're like people sitting on the gates of Jannah, calling people, come on in, with their tongues. They're saying, come on in, come on in. Their actions are saying, don't come in. The more they talk to people and tell people come in, the more their actions say, don't listen to us. Because if we were indeed truthful, we would have been the first to apply it. They appear like they are as though they're guides. Those ulama as-su appear. May Allah save us and give us refuge from that. They appear as though they are guides, but they are bandits. Those who don't apply what they learn are like bandits. It's like you're in your car, you're asking someone for direction, he gives you a detour so he can rob you. That's how ulama as-su are. Some of the worst parables in the Quran gives us to learn examples of. Some of the worst parables of those examples to learn from are pertaining to those who don't apply their knowledge. وَاتْلُ عَلَيْهِمْ نَبَأَ الَّذِي آتَيْنَاهُ آيَاتِنَا فَانْسَلَخَ مِنْهَا فَأَتْبَعَهُ الشَّيْطَانُ فَكَانَ مِنَ الْغَاوِينَ وَلَوْ شِئْنَا لَرَفَعْنَاهُ بِهَا وَلَكِنَّهُ أَخْلَدَ إِلَى الْأَرْضِ وَاتَّبَعَ هَوَاهُ فَمَثَلُهُ كَمَثَلِ الْكَلْبِ إِنْ تَحْمِلْ عَلَيْهِ يَلْهَثْ أَوْ تَتْرُكْهُ يَلْهَثْ ذلك مثل القوم الذين كذبوا بآياتنا فاقصص القصص لعلهم يتفكرون. A scholar, فمثله كمثل الكلب. A scholar, a alim, who acts different from that which he knows. Surah Al-A'raf. He is one, Allah gave a parable that he's like a dog. He said, had we willed, Allah says, had we willed, we surely would have elevated him. He's like a dog, but we would have elevated him. But he clung on to this earth and followed his vain desires. He didn't follow what he knows. The parable is a parable of a dog. If you drive him away, he lolls his tongue out. If you leave him, he lolls his tongue out. And whatever you do, whatever status he's on, he lolls his tongue out. Ibn al-Qayyim mentions, when he talks about this, he mentions how the parable of a dog is to evil scholars, and then mentions 10 points under that. We don't really have time to go through them. Allah gives this example, not of any dog, but a panting dog, a lolling dog. He pants all the time. That's the worst of all dogs. Resting, tired, thirsty, with his thirst quenched, whatever status he's on, he's panting and lolling. If you tell the Shaykh, speak the truth, he's panting and lolling. If you leave him, those evil scholars, to not apply what he knows he should apply, he's lolling. If you shun him, he's panting. If you just ignore him, he's panting. And if he speaks, he's panting. He did not use what he knows, so Allah gives him a parable of a panting dog. More than that, مثل الذين حملوا التوراة ثم لم يحملوها كمثل الحمار يحمل أسفارا بئس مثل القوم الذين كذبوا بآيات الله والله لا يهدي القوم الظالمين. The likeliness of those who were entrusted with the Torah and likewise the Quran. The verse doesn't say the Quran, but likewise the Quran. But after that, after they were entrusted with the Quran, they after that failed those obligations. They are like a donkey, which carries huge burdens of books. Does he understand anything out of them? That's the example of the people who deny Allah's ayat. Here, Allah makes a parable to a donkey. The first one was a knowledgeable person, parable to a dog. Here, it's a parable to a donkey. لَمْ يَحْمِلُوهَا. A donkey which does not, does not carry. لَمْ يَحْمِلُوهَا. They did not carry it. What that means is they didn't apply it. What usage does a donkey get out of the asfar? The word in Arabic is asfar, which is plural for sufr, which are the big books or tablets that you used to write on upon. If you put them on a donkey, what does a donkey get out of carrying those asfar? What does a donkey get out of it on his back but the weight? What does one who carries the Quran or Bukhari or Muslim or Mughni or Al-Sur al-Thalatha or other books, he carries it, he knows it. Carries it means he knows it, but doesn't apply it. What does he get but the burden of carrying it? You get nothing but the burden of the weight, just like the donkey. حمل التوراة. Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhuma said, he was حملوا in order to act upon it. They were given it, حملوا, in order to act upon it. Ibn Kathir rahimahullah said, this parable is for those who don't know what's in the books. They're given the books to learn, they don't want to learn. They don't want to learn what's in the books. Those who know what's in the books, they memorize it, but they don't comprehend it. They don't act on it. And it's also for those who know it and tamper and play around with it. They are worse than a donkey because at least a donkey has no intelligence to comprehend. They have the intelligence but don't use their intelligence, so they are indeed worse than a donkey. Ibn al-Qayyim in A'lam al-Muwaqqi'in said, even though this was directed to the Jews, it also applies to the people who were given the Quran and do not act upon that which is in the Quran. Wallahi, it's a grisly parable of a donkey. Allah comparing one to a donkey, to a dog. It's something to warn you. So one applies that which he learns and seeks knowledge and applies knowledge. These are reminders for those who have a heart